genuine question. So the show that my friends and I went to on Saturday night, like it was at the Elysian Theater. Right next door, there's a place where you can get like Brazilian waxes, and we were like, it was just guys. We were like, how much does a Brazilian wax cost? How much?
Did you find out? Because I want to know.
How much was it?
No, I don't know.
They're
That's where you go.
50 to 60.
I guessed 100. Someone guessed like 250.
250.
I guess it depends on where the
maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe if they're styling it like in a really
Or 250. Does
highlights.
250 include the airfare to Brazil for the wax?
Oh no. Yeah.
Hi everyone and welcome to Lost Lore Academia. My name is Philip and I am Long Lost Lore. And around me are our wonderful folklore studies students. Say classes in session, students.
Classes in session.
Students.
I'm not gonna be mean about it like Philip.
No, it was like a cool where you got
cool.
That
was
was like
cool.
you guys were like, here we are. Extreme. I am gonna show some Legos that aren't have anything to do with anything just because. But look at this guy on his jet ski with a palm tree on it, and he's wearing a Speedo and a vest.
I want to summon that guy.
He's well.
Research that guy.
Research. Then I'll tell you exactly what you research. Research Hunk, which is a minor character from Voluptua. Just research.
Yeah. Doing it right now.
Research hunks and hotties.
I'm doing it.
They have the sexy
I gotta
tag.
get my phone.
You know what? I'm even gonna say right here.
Hunks and hotties.
That is the hunk. That is the hottie.
Oh, look at the hottie's butt.
The hottie is not wearing much.
She probably gets Brazilians.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Research hottie.
Research hottie. If you want
I thought it was hunks and hotties, is what you said.
It's two separate characters. So you gotta have to research hunk or research hottie.
Okay, I'll research hottie.
Okay.
I'm going for hunk. There we go.
There we go.
Since I did get a waxing kit, I will only be charging $5 for Brazilians, and I don't know how to do them.
I feel like having a friend do a Brazilian for you sounds like a.
No,
I've had friends wax my back before, but a Brazilian seems like a bridge too far.
I would never.
It sounds like a bridge on the River Kwai to me.
Yeah, if I were licensed and trained.
Yeah.
Then I would.
I mean, I've been in positions with my wax girl that I've not been in any other context ever.
I know exactly which positions you mean.
What occult mysteries happen in the waxing studio?
Oh my god.
Being a woman sounds hard.
Yeah.
You know what you have to do as a guy? Nothing.
True.
Society rewards you. What a great life. I'm gonna open up a dice today. I think it's on day 9. Isn't that a magic guy? Day 9? Isn't that a Magic the Gathering person?
I have no idea.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first D20. It's got like an exploding.
Philip, on what day do we open our first D's nuts?
Okay, and that's really cool. We had our first 2 die situation. You may look at that, and then I'll hold it up to camera as I set this down. This is a ray gun D6, which I am genuinely super into. Check out this nonsense. Just ray guns on all the sides. Pew, 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 pew.
Ooh.
Do you have to make the sound effects every time you roll it?
Let's see if it makes them automatically. Nope, just my mouth does it. But still very rad. So, once again, Black Oak Workshop makes cool stuff. I'm so glad I'm so glad I live in a country where I'm allowed to buy it, unlike the countries where I'm not. I'm so stupid. Okay, so in any case, everybody, welcome to Lost Lore Academia. This is our meta Dark Academia game. I don't know how Dark Academia it really is. It's probably just kind of regular academia. I mean, thus far this game has been like 1-for-1 of my exact like first month or so at college. Right down to a girl named Wednesday Line who used to try to braid everyone's hair.
Used to.
Well, in college she did.
Okay.
I don't know if she still does it.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, she might have stopped. She might have stopped braiding.
Oh, her dreams.
Yeah, all she wanted to do was braid. Well, great. Today's game is going to pick up where we last left off. Except not really, because it's always one full week later. But in our last game, The students summoned more characters, checked out a new location, a place called Reputable Farm and Supply and Agricultural Services and Sons. Visited some of the people, came to some conclusions, or there's a lot of mystery as to what's going on with Sister Mercy and Rawlings. Understandably, everyone's gravitating towards what is going on with those two. And they then went into the purple place, which they heard was called a pocket of the Dreamlands, where they met some Dreamlings, Uba, Edao, and Dev, who basically they wound up creating a little watchtower type place in the Dreamlands, and sort of said that these 3 Dreamlings must rotate the captaincy of this tower while you are all gone. But they really weren't given any other directions than that. You also battled a dream beast, which you sort of did so that you could kind of get a little inspiration, sort of summon. I think a dream beast was this big, strong kind of I don't know. It was basically just like a big monster. Just could have hit you hard, but boy, you guys just destroyed it first thing. So you won. Congratulations. Oh, but I guess, Connor, you did actually get interior insight into the nature of this dream beast. You learned sort of its stats and things, which was cool. So thanks.
In an upsetting way.
I mean, the interior man is not upsetting. He's one of the kindest and gentlest characters we have. He just likes to, he just likes to be inside things. Go ahead.
I said that's an understatement.
Yeah. But you know what? He's an understated kind of guy. He's very, nothing about this guy screams, too much. He's just simple.
He seems like a nice, misunderstood man.
He kind of blends into the background, usually because he's inside of something back there. So yeah. A fun time. You guys left the realm of that. The elevator closed, and but I guess the other thing we should maybe potentially more pressingly for what things might happen right now. You seem to really be growing more and more suspicious with your Professor Davies, Arthur Davies. You have some problems about what his vibe is. He also was kind of telling you, please carry on, please keep summoning characters, but also said, or back off if you don't want to. And I actually am going to maybe go to all of you guys before we actually summon anyone, so we can kind of discuss that. Because in this, he sort of left you with summon characters, but also don't if it's too much. We're just doing this for knowledge. I would say the students, not to speak for you, even though that's literally what I've been doing for the past 5 minutes, there were varying degrees of you accepting that idea. Varying degrees of people saying, sure, I get it, just for knowledge, and are you joking? No, I want to know exactly what's going on here. I think it probably largely correlates to what kind of major you have. In any case, over the past week, you all worked on sort of doing some research together. You researched some characters, you transcribed some characters, and you researched some items. So, to recap these items and characters, at this time, you possess the pages to transcribe a Loremaster named Wiki from the story called Blue Moon. And I believe that would be the first. Well, no, you actually have 2 at this point. I'm going to go to Wiki in a moment. So you have researched a character named Duchess Contessa. She is a toon, she's described as being animated, like a cartoon, from the setting called Grey in the Dark, the same place that the Shadow Elf Agitator and Jump and Gianna come from. You also researched a Yeti named Susan, who is a superhero there. So those are characters who these are from settings. She is from the same place as the Astromancer and Tatiana Temple. But you also researched 2 characters who come from settings you actually have not summoned any characters from. One is from a place called Blue Moon, which is a sort of kind of odd horror story about werewolves. You summoned a blacksmith, or you've transcribed pages about a blacksmith named Wiki, who is a Loremaster. So again, we didn't have the opportunity to do it last time, but Wiki plus Rawlings plus the Astromancer, bless you, is an interesting opportunity to have some Loremasters compare notes. You also, mainly at the urging of Doug Jolly, who I guess grew tired of salivating exclusively over sexy AM FM radio alarm, have researched a character whose name is confusingly Jacket Girl, from a collection of very, very sort of like sci-fi franchisey sci-fi called Star Tales. So you have these 4 characters. And I think you may have researched 1 or 2 other things. You may have gotten the intel about 1 or 2 other, you may have gotten... Maybe you guys did this week. I'm honestly not sure if any of these other people were new arrivals. But you also researched an item, something that Connor had been growing kind of intrigued by. A doll called Maisie, who shares a name, a doll called Maisie from the Top Flight universe, who shares a name with a character from the Blood from a Stone setting. Upon researching this doll, because this requires no stuff, I'll sort of say that you are now gathered here at Hampstead Hall to sort of discuss these findings for the night. And one thing that is known is that it appears this doll grants no ability, doesn't even really have intrinsic magical power, although if you were to summon it and then try to get rid of it, she would kind of, you could destroy it, and it's because the doll would just, reappear. But this doll is an important component of summoning that mythic character, Maisie. So in other words, the doll is kind of you inadvertently started doing one of many steps, because the mythic characters, you guys got Tatiana Temple totally for free, and all the other mythics are...
Well, I had to read.
True, you did have to read. But the other mythics will require some hoops to jump through. So, with all that in mind, I think we are going to begin with you all here at Hampstead Hall. Class has been going on for a week, but despite this, you really were very productive. Mo has left you with these numerous sort of just stacks of these new pages that you guys have transcribed, with which you could summon characters. To summon the 4 characters in question, it would cost you 1,380 inspiration, and you currently have 4,000. So it's certainly something you could do, but Medina was maybe suggesting that we pump the brakes on just bringing more and more characters in. You have space to house them, but again, so basically, Mo has left you this stuff, and I wanted to do this by roll, so I'll do it right now. As it happens, the professor is not here this evening. You all received an email stating that he will attempt to come by, but he has another obligation. In other words, you have the opportunity to speak, hopefully with some degree of freedom, if you'd like to.
Let's get these people in here. That's what I say.
What does anyone else say?
I'm on board.
What?
It's a shock right there. Shock that those 2 are like, let's do it.
I think the professor's fine. What are you guys worrying about?
I mean, we have the space for them. We might as well just keep summoning them. And it's more helpful for us when we go into the purple place.
Well, weren't you caught off guard by not having enough inspiration last time? Like, when you went in to fight.
Yeah, but we have a
Barely.
ton right now.
No,
Yeah,
wait, we didn't have. Were we? Sorry, were we too low on something when we went in?
I think we were loaned some.
Are you asking me, or is this an in character? Sorry, I can't tell.
Both.
Both. You used a ton of inspiration a couple weeks ago to create Course Court. You've since built a lot back. But I assume what.
Do we need it in a fight?
Oh, you don't need inspiration in a fight. In fact, you can gain extra inspiration from a fight. But you may be conflating that because you guys did have like less power than maybe you'd wanted last of the thing. But you may. Oh, and speaking of which, everybody take your base builds, your baseline character sheets up to full power because it's been a week and you're all fine. But I think you may be conflating that with the debate people were having about, like, do we really want to spend inspiration on every single character? There may be some we want to, like, we want to save up for bigger things and such.
Yeah, or another reason that we don't do it.
Sure. And Medina, it did seem like you had been sort of suggesting that you don't just want to keep just summoning characters willy-nilly. Because basically what Connor and DJ3 and even Callie are suggesting right now, and I guess even Nova, is bring in every single person, but you were explicitly saying not to do that last time.
Right. I think this week we've done the research. We should just bring them in. We have the space, but we do need to be more deliberate in the future. I know you're trying to find the love of your life, DJ, but
More selective. I hear you. Yeah.
I think
There was this
we
love
found
struck
her,
woman
honestly.
that might be. Maybe that's the answer going forward.
okay, I was literally joking about that.
Oh,
I don't think you should fall in love with a fictional character that cannot leave this library.
I mean, I don't know. I could see that has benefits.
Just lock 'em in.
I like they'll
Certainly
never
have-
leave you.
It would certainly lead to, boundaries being set in the relationship.
Okay, well, nobody
The love struck woman is also
actually going to fall in love
explicitly
with these
gay.
characters, okay? Y'all already saw how much drama happens.
I don't know that yet.
with them.
It's fair, you don't. At this point, Wednesday line very quietly from the shadows will say, "Yes, miss.
Nah.
It certainly makes sense, Phil. Oh, and good evening to all of you. I came up here to the hall knowing that you would all be here soon.
Thank you, Wednesday, for
Yes, miss.
always getting my heart rate up in a very
Yep.
sudden way.
It is-
have any fresh buns?
Yeah, I want some buns.
My buns are available to all who want them." She pulls out a tray.
I still have the one from last week. Thank you.
Oh, that
I don't
was
know how
probably not
what
so
that
good,
takes.
miss.
Yeah.
I just
What do-
Also, point of order, you can carry it up in here, but if you tried to take it out of the hall, it would have disappeared.
So would it reappear in my pocket when I get back?
I don't think so.
Then I don't have one from last week.
Then take one now, miss, with my compliments.
Oh, no, thank you.
You should. It's really good.
They're delicious.
I'll go
Allie
for it.
takes one.
Yep.
Of course.
Of course.
They're delicious.
And if they disappear when he leaves the library, doesn't count. No
That's actually a good
calories.
question. If you ingest them, interesting.
I'm
Just
not
what?
going to.
Injustice.
I'm
One way to find out.
no. We're choosing to have it not exist in the outside
But
world.
what's the way to find out?
No, this is a
Just
genuine
eat a whole
question.
tray until you're
would
like
have to
super stuffed.
Weigh yourself right before going in. Eat as
Yeah.
many as you can. Weigh yourself inside, and then again weigh yourself outside after you leave.
I think we should do this next week. We'll bring a scale next week.
Okay.
Wednesday, can you have
Like a baker's
plethora
dozen
of
ready?
buns?
Probably more than that.
I will
A baker's dozen.
I will have
No, gross. We'll have a gross.
I will have big buns, buttered and ready for your use as soon as you arrive next week, miss.
Medina is normally not about shenanigans, but these shenanigans, it's science. She's got to.
She's in the wrong place if she is not about shenanigans.
I know. She's very aware.
What about fun, lighthearted shenanigans?
No.
It is.
Those make my children lost longer than they should be. So no.
It is very nice to have a kitchen in which I can cook, miss.
I'm happy you're happy, Wednesday.
I'm very happy.
Okay, good. Smile. I mean, not to be one to tell a woman to smile, but do you smile? Does it hurt your face?
Only
Don't make her do it.
only when I see a spider, miss.
Oh. Okay. Anyway. Okay, let's summon these characters, and we'll be more careful about who we summon in the future, and we can focus on specific people. But these, should we?
Careful how? You just mean no villains?
What?
Well, I don't know. See, Tatiana can be useful.
Careful how?
Sorry.
So careful how?
Well, careful in like Alfred or whatever his name is. He's kind of
Arthur the driver?
Yep. I'm gonna continue.
He
calling
seemed
him
like a
Alfred.
nice guy.
Well, yeah, but is he useful?
You can drive.
I can drive.
But now you don't have to drive.
I'll actually, Medina, make a quick research roll using your base stats.
If I get car sick easy, but I take Arthur in, will that help negate my nausea?
Why don't you make a research roll as well?
One way to
it does.
find out.
I have 2 7s and 2 5s. So
2
that
7s, 2
is,
5s. Which would you like to use on this research?
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic. You do know that Arthur, and I actually did kind of add this after the fact for him. It's one of those things where, like, he's driver, but whatever. Arthur does have the pilot tag, which means that he is able to operate basically, like, whatever vehicle you come upon without any penalties. Callie,
3 6s.
you super understand that he can operate vehicles, and the rest of you, yeah, you could drive a car, but, like, it seems like people who are pilots innately can kind of get behind the wheel of any vehicle when you're in the other thing, when you have their power and you'll
But
have
if
the
I have
ability.
Arthur in my
Stable.
build,
Yeah.
and I'm not driving, does my car sickness not happen?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think with a 6, you'll be less you understand you'll be less prone to car sickness. If you have a third degree of 6s, you're less prone to car sickness because yes, the innate driving ability.
In that case, I think he's very useful on 2 counts.
You should eat a bunch of those buns and then ride in a car and see.
I would not like to tempt fate that way.
Well, but the other thing
Again.
is there may be better pilots. I mean, we've got a whole Star Adventure crew that we can summon.
Like this jacket girl.
Speaking
Yeah.
of which,
Well, now we have one now.
you have these 4 sort of stacks of pages which Mo very carefully put together for you. Would you like to bring out? It kind of doesn't matter the order because it's just going to be a couple of goofy lines. Who do we want? Susan,
Smash that
Wiki,
button.
Jacket Girl. Yeah, who are we doing first? Or Duchess Contessa?
Jack girl.
Jacket girl.
Yeah.
Wow. So she's coming in hot first. Now, guys, I just want to say, we really looked at a lot of different, jackets. So I hope people aren't disappointed with the final jacket that was chosen for Jacket Girl.
World's best jacket or bust.
Wow.
Is Jacket Girl. So yes, Jacket Girl appears. She is wearing cool space-age glasses. She's now a brunette with a ponytail, I'll add. And she has a jacket. And I have to say that as soon as this woman appears, and there is a sense of, like, there's, like, something sort of, not cosmic about her, but like, she is a little futuristic. And she even has, like, a blaster pistol at her side. I didn't give her it as an accessory, though. The accessory I did give is sometimes she'll be riding on a hover sled, but I don't care about that. Anyway, point is, she appears and just looks around and goes, "What planet is this?
Earth?
I've never heard of that. Oh, man, I must have gone on a bender. Have you guys seen a really old guy anywhere?
Several.
Oh,
There's a bunch here, yeah.
oh no, I must have been... I feel a little groggy, sorry. Hi.
Hello. I'm Doug.
Hi, Doug.
Call me DJ3.
Cool. I'm sorry. This is nice. Sorry to bother whatever like is going on here. Is there like a droid I can talk to? Is like where can I get on the HoloNet? I need to just like check where I am because I don't know.
You're not where you think you're from. Wherever you're from, you're not there right now.
Are you like, is this like a riddle or something? What's going on? I don't talk to men this young. Excuse me. And she just kind
I would
of
have had a pamphlet ready, but I had to take out too many pages and that didn't make sense. Now I have to redo it.
She walks out of the hallway and goes, well, this decor is definitely something somebody I'd be into would be into. Wednesday is kind of like heading over to her and being like, Miss, allow me to explain. And she starts sort of, saying some things to Jacket Girl. Who would you like next? I'm seeing in chat Duchess Contessa.
Bring her out.
All right.
Bring them out. Bring them out.
Now, this is tricky because, guys, I went to a lot of places because she's supposed to be a cartoon. I was trying to decide what the heads would be because, like I almost went to, like, the Disney princess heads that are very big and weird, but they're the wrong... Anyway. Instead, we went with vintage 90s head. So, at this point, something extremely shocking appears. Good. A cartoon woman. She's about, what, like 5 foot even? Yeah. And she is wearing this just, like, beautiful black dress, a leg slit that goes very high. Not on the leg of minifigures, sorry. And she has this like white fur sort of stole around her shoulders, blonde hair. She's holding up a pie and like a banana cream pie and a gun, and then she puts those back in her pocket and looks around for a few moments, and then suddenly she begins to weep as 2 faucets of tears start pouring out of both sides of her eyes.
Oh. No.
Am I dead?
No.
Did somebody look at our tags? I'll say, like, quietly to the group.
The color's back! But I'm not in color. Are you kidding me? No.
Breathe.
She's... And as she blows, you all kind of like your clothing, ripples intensely. And then she pulls out a giant stethoscope and puts it on her chest, and you hear her heart going, pa-tump, 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 pa-tump.
Medina, her tags are sexy, soldier, and tune.
Oh, thank you, sexy. As she does that, she sort of sticks out her chest, and her, I believe the term she usually uses is bazongas, are sort of, just kind of boing boing with additional buoyancy. Thank you, sexy.
Well, you're definitely not dead. So, good job.
You might see some people out there. They are also not in color as you are, and you'll meet some new people who are in color.
But why am I not in color? All I wanted was the color back.
As far as we can tell, it's because your world doesn't have color, and you kind of just come as you are.
You're just drawn that way.
She looks
Actually,
at
I don't
you
think she was.
in the
I don't think
face,
she was drawn that way.
and then she gets this kind of like wicked look, and she says, "You don't know how I was drawn." She gets super close to you, and it's like intense, and it's weird because it's a cartoon. She's like flat and yet moving in 3D, and she gets real close, and she suddenly is wearing like an army, like a helmet, like it's a real like Saving Private Ryan vibe. You expect she's gonna like start slowly sticking a knife into your neck as she's right in your face, and she goes, "I was drawn as a wild animal. You don't know the first thing about me."
Who read about her?
That was actually Connor.
No, but he does.
Hi there. Sorry, I am married. You're very handsome, but I'm married.
No.
Doesn't keep a girl from looking, though. And then she runs out the door, and there's like a cloud stays behind her. And you hear Wednesday outside saying, "Oh my, hello, miss, and conversation.
We should get more tunes.
That was
Yeah,
wild.
I like them. I thought she was dead at first, though. I'm sad she's not a ghost.
Maybe
She
the
probably
next
could
one.
be if you asked her nicely.
Speaking of the next one, so we've brought out, now at this point outside you see Jacket Girl talking to Duchess Contessa, and I don't know what, I genuinely don't know what that conversation is right now. But you have two options. You have Susan, you have Wiki.
Susan.
And there's no loser there, really.
Also, I genuinely don't, like, does anybody who was into any of my 3 top flight here, could Susan talk? I think she just kind of grunted, right?
I don't think we ever heard Susan talk.
I think she grunted.
And also, this is not Beach Bikini Susan, so just don't get excited. This is normal Susan. That's a special costume.
She definitely understood everything.
Yeah.
She like Chewbacca?
She's a Yeti.
Nice.
A Yeti suddenly appears, like an 8-foot tall Yeti, furry, heroic, licking an ice pop. There you go.
No.
Susan is. She is present.
Cloak and Dagger says she talked.
She talked? Oh, I think if she did, I think they were just going, whoa. She just sort of looks around. Hello. And as she speaks, there's this, like, cold, like, shaking sort of, like, sound.
Oh, you should hang out with the mountain in that case. You guys are probably along.
The mountain. Actually, okay.
Probably keep you from sweating.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah,
You're okay
don't
enough.
worry. We just summoned you. You're okay.
Okay. Excuse me, as she hits her head on the chandelier and kind of, walks out of the thing. And you hear that Wednesday's going to be bringing them all down. She's waiting for you to summon the last one, and they'll, then she can take them down to the, to Course Court.
Well, let's smash that summon button.
Suddenly, there is a woman wearing sort of like overalls. She has sort of short hair. She has she's wearing gloves and medieval sort of blacksmith with a big hammer, and she has a sword like mid, and she sort of pauses.
See, Medina, that's a sword.
Am I in the Great Lodge?
You are in the library at our college. University, as some call it.
Oh. She sort of like tosses the sword on the ground, kind of clangs behind her. She slips the hammer into her.
I want to
in her coverall.
hang on to that. I don't know that you should just leave that lying around here of all places.
Forgive me, I did not want to offend.
No offense.
I was just not wanting any sort of Are you with the hunt?
Or with a hunt?
No. Whatever. Did anyone read it?
Not the same hunt you're on.
Yeah,
I
that's.
see.
Did anyone
Aren't
read
we all on the hunt for knowledge?
Yeah, I don't think that's her hunt.
DJ, I think you're loosely. I think you specifically are very loosely on the hunt.
Wednesday says, "This way, miss. I will take you all."
Oh, wait. I took the liberty. I just printed out some. Would you sign this?
Are you saying this to Wednesday?
No.
Oh, Wiki?
Mm-hmm. Just some,
What's his
general
names?
known contest contract forms, so we don't get sued.
I don't know if they could.
Why-
I mean, I get it. No, that makes sense. Maybe, better safe than sorry is probably.
She kind of
I don't
does
know.
an X and then does sort of like a little symbol that probably is like akin to what she would imprint onto.
Maybe we should check if there's a lawyer tag and just specifically not summon them.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm pre-law. I could take it to one of my professors.
But I would assume that you're on our side. I'm saying that we should not have a lawyer on their side. That might be more trouble than it's worth.
Wednesday sort of hovers at the door and says, I was going to bring them down to meet the others.
help them get their bearings unless any of them you wish to speak with first. If that's something you wanted.
No, I think I'm okay. Thank you, Wednesday.
Of course. She just leads them off to the elevator. They go down to Course Court. Mo just kind of comes in and picks up some scraps of paper. So that's just 4 more? Alright, great.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks, Mo.
Yeah, is that, I've been paying a little attention to what you guys are doing. I just, is this, I don't know, is that, are you just gonna keep bringing whoever in?
No.
Do you have any requests?
No. It's your program. He goes.
What do you think we're doing?
As far as I can tell, you're just getting every single character you sort of come across and just following after whatever whims strike you at any point and any interesting name you see.
Okay, well,
That's about right, yes.
Yeah, that's.
We
spot
haven't
on.
exactly gotten a lot of instruction from Professor Davies, so if you've gotten
I'm not-
any, please enlighten us.
I'm not accusing you. I can't instruct you. This isn't my course. I'm just in charge of this hall. That's all.
So what
What
were you
has he told
doing?
you?
What's that?
What has Professor Davies told you?
Professor Davies has told me nothing that he hasn't told you. He just told me to facilitate the 6 of you specifically and the folk studies department in general to use whatever they can, and now characters are appearing and I'm just supposed to act like it's normal. That's all I know.
Have you ever heard him talking to anyone, saying anything that might give us more information as to what the hell we are actually doing here? Because we're at a loss.
Does he have any requests?
I don't think I've heard anything that can help you. I'm sorry. But does who have any requests? Professor Davies or Mo?
Yeah, does Mo know if the professor has any?
He hadn't said any. He told I got an email that he'd be here a little later tonight. I guess let me know if you need anything. But just, I mean, it's certainly nice that the library is not full of all these people now, but it's been, or just the whole building. It's not just the library. Yeah. Neat. All right. Yeah. Just let me know if you need more. We just try to find some other book that suddenly magically appears on the shelves and kind of just chuckles and walks off.
Should we introduce all the Loremasters that we unlocked now?
We just say, "Hey, Loremasters, come to the room in the library," and they just show up.
Do they know their own tags? I guess that's a question. We could try. See what happens.
We get Wednesday to get them all.
Yeah,
I feel bad kind of just using her as a as a gopher though.
she likes that. That's her
Happy to help.
lot.
Yeah, she's so nice.
She'll totally braid anyone's hair if they want it.
Yeah, let her braid your hair as a reward. She'll love that.
If you do this thing for me, I'll let you braid my hair.
I guess I thought
okay,
Lindsay and I were more friends. I wouldn't make her braiding my hair a reward. That seems kind of mean. But maybe we can do maybe we can summon like a speaker system or a PA system.
I think.
Yeah, but how do we install that in each of the different locations that we end up summoning?
That's up for the elevator to decide. We don't have to
I'm
figure that
gonna go
out.
ahead and call for Wednesday.
You call for Wednesday. You just call out her name.
Yeah.
Okay. You do so, and you all actually know where just from the room you're in.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody who has a listen of 4 or more, which I think is maybe Nova and Frankie. If I'm doing this by brain, but you may not have a listen actually.
Yeah.
Nova
4.
Nova in the distance, like out in like the main foyer or whatever, kind of like around the thing, you actually hear a little bit of like zoop, 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 zoop. And tell you what, make a listen roll. Let's give you a
Okay.
let's say you can do one. You're hearing some stuff, let's see how specific you hear it.
One match of 7 astronomy.
Oh, okay. I'll say in that case, yeah, you hear, almost like reflexive in response to what you're saying, a small voice say, "Be well," and then you hear like the button being depressed, and the elevator, like somebody hitting the elevator button. That is what you hear.
One of the fairies now an elevator attendant.
I think Wednesday's coming.
After a few minutes, Wednesday actually sort of appears in the doorway.
You asked for me, miss.
Yes. I have a question. What do you enjoy doing things for other people, or like if you were the person that I was like, hey, I needed to go fetch so and so, is that something that makes you happy?
I'm perfectly happy doing whatever can help with whatever you need, miss.
But I know you're supposed to say that, but do you genuinely like that?
I do not like it as much as cooking or performing autopsies, miss.
Okay.
But I do not.
It's almost as if servant is her job title and not her personality. I feel like maybe.
I will say this, miss. I enjoy being of use. I certainly think it should not be a high priority, but that sprite, for example, who let me know that you were asking for me, I instructed her to wait here in case anyone called for anything, so she could let me know. If you wish to summon more staff members, we'll be able to serve your needs better, especially if I'm in charge of them, miss.
Oh, so you like being the HBIC?
I do not understand what this
I think
means.
she would know that acronym.
I know, I just forget.
What does it mean, miss?
It means the head bitch in charge, but in a good way.
Oh, I see. I believe that Miss Tatiana Temple considers herself the head bitch in charge, miss. In fact, she is running the orientation right now. In the
Oh, that
ballroom
seems like a
hall.
terrible idea.
Yeah. You know what? Let's all.
Wednesday,
Yes, miss.
do you, if I said, do you know your tags, does that sentence make any sense to you at all? Or...
I think I understand what you mean, miss.
Would you say it out loud?
As soon as I pull up the page, sure.
I think that you're suggesting that I understand that I am staff. It is a unique ability that I have, yes, miss.
Well, no, not just you. That if we wanted to talk to everyone with a certain tag, could we do that? Could we just call upon you by saying, "Hey, we want all of the Loremasters, for example"?
We will all happily come if you ask us, but we cannot hear you from Course Court. But that is why I've left the wellness sprite.
If we tell the wellness sprite
Precisely,
that we need all of the Loremasters, will that make sense to everyone?
It will make sense to those it needs to make sense to, Miss Callie.
That is good enough. Thank you very much, Wednesday.
Wednesday, wait, I have one more question. On a scale of, let's
yes,
say...
I'll braid your hair, miss.
Oh, nope, that's not it. On a scale of, like, scrubbing the floors to autopsy.
Oh, those are two of my favorite activities, miss.
Oh, what is your least favorite activity?
Oh, sitting in contentment, miss.
That
Same.
makes sense.
I had to go to therapy because I'm not okay with just sitting.
It is very unpleasant to simply sit there when you're meant to be happy. Sitting in melancholy is delightful, miss, but
Okay,
not
well,
sitting in contentment.
You know, okay.
Would
Well,
you like me to braid
sitting
your hair?
No, never.
on a scale of sitting in contentment to performing an autopsy,
Yes.
where on that scale is being in charge of the other people who might help us?
Yes, I understand, miss. Chopping onions, miss. Forgive me,
How
miss.
close?
You did not give me a numerical scale. I'm answering as accurately as I can, miss.
How close to
Callie's gonna. In the meantime, Callie's gonna go to the Sprite and tell them we need the Loremasters.
Oh, so you guys are going to... It sounded for a moment like you were going to go interrupt Tatiana Temple's orientation.
We were, but I
Well, also,
I would never interrupt Tatiana. No, that's not.
Susan is aware enough of Tatiana Temple that I think Susan will be like, no.
If you ask the Wellness Sprite to bring you the Loremasters, that is certainly something that can happen.
And Wednesday says, yes, that is how. Just call for the Sprite. She will be at the elevators. If you ever don't see her there, it's because she's already come down to deliver some other missive.
Okay, but on a scale of 1 to 10.
I enjoy helping everyone go about their business efficiently, miss.
Okay, we'll just make you in charge of the Sprites. How does that sound?
Well, more Steel is not a servant, miss.
The staff
of the helper Sprites.
The staff is their tag. Literally is staff.
Yes, of staff, miss.
Okay.
I like to be staff.
Okay. But should we go see what the orientation is all about? Because
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. And Frankie, I'm sorry, you should come because
Okay.
she has an affinity for you. You're technically hers, so.
God. Okay.
You've got this.
Yeah. Wait, before we run down there, is Wednesday still here?
Oh, yes, miss.
Okay.
Did you wish for me to leave, miss? You could speak about me without my being present.
I'm
very good at not dropping eaves, miss. I won't listen if I leave.
I like that about you. Yes.
Of course.
She kind of like bows to you and walks out of the room and like makes a big deal of closing the doors, and then you hear her like humming softly as she walks away. She's basically humming like da 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 da.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Da 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 da. In the distance, you then hear the elevators opening, and she says,
Forgive me, I'm trying to not listen, but I think they might want to speak to you downstairs after all. They're worried about the orientation.
And you hear the Astromancer's voice. They have much to worry about. Tatiana Temple is wickedness. Anyway, yeah, you guys have a minute to speak alone.
Just before we do or do not go down there, can we just talk for a sec about the professor?
Yes.
And like, you know, if we're for real gonna get the grade that we're deserved, you know.
I mean, I feel like as long as...
Yeah. I don't think he cares about our grades.
Well, I care.
I do too. I
don't know that he would give anyone less than an A as long as we keep showing up and not tell anyone outside about what's going on.
And we all trust him? Is that
No.
He's bad.
Seems fine.
No.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I mean, trust is a strong word, but I mean,
Yeah.
he wouldn't give a rubric or syllabus or anything, but like,
right?
I feel like it's more harmful to him if he fails us, because then we could go to the dean and that would make it worse for him. So at the very least,
what would they go to the dean about? They'd think we were crazy.
I told some people.
The dean knows. He told the dean.
but he would still have to explain to the dean why he failed 5-6 students over a nonsense. It would be much harder for him to explain the group fail, or any fail, than it would be to not.
Well, either way, I don't trust him. But the thing is, I'm not going to pass on the biggest mystery of my life because I don't trust him. However, I do want answers. As much as I resent that this is happening to all of us, this is really interesting and kind of cool, but I need answers.
I think the answers are in the purple place.
Why do you resent this?
Well, because I was doing fine. I was doing well in my classes. I was doing great at tournaments.
Are you not now?
Are you
need more help?
I'm more stressed than I should be. Because not only do I have to maintain my scholarship, I also have to maintain my status on the fencing team. which is very stressful. Also having to do all this research for all of these characters, which I do want to learn about, but I need to know why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tress
Like, this
seems
is fun and interesting,
important.
but
Well, I was gonna say we should get our asses up to the purple place as soon as possible today, but we've been dilly-dallying around here a fair bit, so I don't know how much time we're gonna have there, but I think the more we go up there, the more we'll be able to explore and see what the hell is happening. And
what
go
if
from
there's
there.
something there that the professor is not telling us about?
Then we'll
I
wail
don't
on
think
it.
he knows anything about there because
He never
got
went
so
there.
depressed when he couldn't go in the elevator.
Yeah,
Which
remember,
means that he knows that there's something there, either of value that he wants or that he wants to learn
No,
about.
I think he just has major FOMO, honestly. I don't know that.
But
he
maybe,
knows anything.
he's jealous that we can do this and he can't.
or that's what
Yeah.
he's showing. But
Exactly.
it's possible that he's just a good actor. Maybe we do go along with him, but could we do like a
Can
stage out or
Callie
something
tell
at
if
his
he's
place?
acting?
It is harder to do a read person when they're not present. You'll need a higher degree of success. But maybe...
But Callie knows all about acting. So she would know prior.
Ooh, clever Callie. Callie does have knowledge of acting. So actually, in that case, sure, I will say, Callie, please make a read person roll. And you can add your acting modeling bonus to that. Your knowledge of acting modeling. Callie is not an actor or model, but she has knowledge of the subject.
She could
My
be a model.
fallback.
Now, do you want to spend any power before making this? I think that gets you to 3 dice.
I got 2 4 without that.
Okay.
No, I mean 2 4s is fine for now.
Okay, and it is actually about the most sort of, the closest to acting probably would be music in terms of that. So I'll maybe give you a partial because you did need a 3rd degree success when you're
Oh,
not.
I did? Oh, if that's what I needed, then I would like to roll the die.
Well, so.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just leave it. It's fine. I'm good.
You can spend 5 if you want to and turn it to a 4, no problem. But I was gonna say because you rolled music, I'll actually kind of give you a partial success on that because you need a step higher to do it when the person's not there, when you're just remembering their vibe.
Yeah,
I will say that he does not appear to be like son of a gun. Yes, he actually a lot of what he's doing now that you think about it, it reminds you of somebody acting. Absolutely. Something about him is definitely performative. There are things about him where you almost notice him like doing some of like the little actor tricks, where people like almost like he does occasionally enter character. Yes, I'll say yes. Now that you think about it.
Well, yeah, so he's definitely not trustworthy, and he's definitely hiding something, and he's definitely trying to make it seem like he's not hiding something.
Yeah, and I always smell like he always smells like he was out drinking all day. So
I
That
think
could
that's
just be
somehow
me.
both related and unrelated.
no, I smell him. He smells like nasty.
Could the alcohol be masking something else?
Emotional distress,
Maybe.
over sending barely adults into a cave with deadly things, maybe? I don't know.
With godly powers that we just trounce everything in there.
I mean, I
Okay,
think
2
as long
things.
as we don't explain too much to him, it should be fine for now.
Like I said in the group text, Tatiana may be able to help us with some form of persuasion.
So could technically Duchess. That's her skills are all about persuasion and stuff too. We could talk to a not evil person that scares at least 2 of us,
Or maybe both of them.
or just not the evil ones. But yeah, no, both is probably maybe we could try that too. Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm not asking her.
Oh,
I mean, I
yeah.
will.
Do we?
Oh no.
You want to ask Tatiana to spy on the guy?
I don't want to do.
I think she might enjoy that actually. So
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Yeah, let's go get her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have to check on the orientation. Let's go.
Okay.
Plotline.
So you guys head down to the elevator. You actually see that the wellness sprite is there, and the wellness sprite is like holding her hands over her ears. But upon seeing you, she'll sort of say,
Be well. I was told to wait here and let you know that because you were still discussing, Wednesday has all of the Loremasters waiting for you downstairs in the Library of Course Court. The orientation is going on in the Grand Ballroom.
I will go to the library.
To the ballroom.
I'll go to the ballroom, but can you possibly give me maybe a summary or a pamphlet of the orientation? Is that something that you could put together?
A pamphlet? I could write it on a daisy petal. I could sprinkle it with morning dew.
I mean, I'm almost done early.
You are talking to like a 6-inch fairy, you know.
Well,
like
I don't know. She could be one of those things that can like snap something. Okay, never mind.
I can put it into a song.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Song, please.
But she also sort of like serves as a tiny elevator man as you guys get on, and she just like full body flies at the button, kind of checks it with her shoulder, and the elevator lurches down and takes you to Course Court. The doors open. As you walk into Course Court, you see that Susan is just pacing around the lobby, like doing this, basically. No. The door to your left is open. It is into the library, and you see the Astromancer, Wiki, with her, like, just still holding the sword you told her to hang on to, and Rawlings, like, very excitedly, kind of, like, just, like, talking, kind of, like, chatting with both of them, but, like, they're kind of waiting for you all. I would say Nova and Frankie, you have a look of 4, right? Yes. Nova and Frankie notice that from the door of the ballroom, Sister Mercy is kind of peeking over at whatever's going on across in the library, like, I don't know why I was not invited to the library. This is crazy that I was not invited to be with. He's going to fall in love with those women, I'm sure of it. Maybe he'll sleep with all of them like he sleeps with women from Voluptua. She's just sort of pacing and just cursing her god. But you do hear Tatiana Temple's voice sort of like coming from the ballroom and saying, So yes, that in a nutshell is the nature of this new place. I'm sure you'll all fit in lovely, even though one of you knew who I was and ran away at an instant. The other was summoned away for whatever other silliness. Even so, Duchess and Jacket Girl. Strange names, but I'm into both your vibes, so enjoy it. You hear then polite clapping. You guys are just still in the foyer. Is like that's like kind of all this is happening at once. So yeah, you could go to the ballroom where it seems like all the characters are. Susan is sort of like kind of hedging in the middle of the room, not wanting to participate in Tatiana Temple. The Loremasters are there for you in the library. This is probably not a week we're going to the purple place, is my guess.
Shocking. Yeah, I'll go to the library.
Head to the library, all right?
While we're splitting up, because I think some people will, like...
You guys can totally split up, absolutely.
I'll go talk to Tatiana.
Okay. I will go to Tatiana.
So, Nova?
I'm gonna go to the library.
Okay, Nova, Connor, Callie, are you gonna do the library or the ballroom?
I'm gonna do the library, but I will remind them that we can do multiple people to spy on the professor so that it's easier, hopefully.
Okay. So, Medina and Doug go to the ballroom, but there's one person I'm very curious about what she will do. Frankie, are you going to go to the ballroom with Medina and Doug, where Tatiana Temple is, or are you going to go to the library where the Astromancer is? And I'll actually point out you have an interesting situation here where effectively, like the two characters connected to you are in different rooms. And look at Frankie's scared face. She doesn't want to make a decision.
Don't show me one of my face.
No.
I'm not. I will go to the Tatiana room.
You will go to the
board?
Okay, great. Oh shoot. Oh my god, I clicked the wrong button. Oh my lord in heaven, sorry. Did that ruin everything on the computer? No, I think it's fine. I have too small of screens, you guys. Okay. So Evens will go to the ballroom first. Odds will go to the library first. Oh, RPGs. Evens. What did I say?
I don't know.
Evens.
I think I said
Library?
Evens was library. Yeah. All right. So we're in the library. Hi, everybody in the library. Connor, Callie, and Nova in the library. You walk in. Wednesday sort of nods to you like she was kind of wrangling them, but at this point she sort of steps out to allow you to do what you're doing. So, Connor, Callie, and Nova. You see before you the astromancer Rawlings, who's like literally like when he's not chugging from his bottle, he's just rubbing his hands with excitement to be with these two people. And Wiki, who's looking at them with a little more kind of uncertainty. What do you do?
Hello. You guys are all lore masters of your stories, right? Because you're very knowledgeable in your stories.
Yes. Rollins. Yeah, yes, absolutely. We're all I had the luxury of seeing something called Film 13, and so I know all the ins and outs of the Dreadlands and all of this sort of thing. But there's something incredibly fascinating going on. He's like almost like shaking you by the shoulders, but has enough control to not do that.
Appreciate that.
There is something just from our limited conversation. It appears that Miss Wiki, is it? I'm Wiki. Yes, that's my name. Shoot. Wait, did Wiki, Lauren, and Felicia, did Wiki have a Scandinavian accent? No, that was not Wiki. Wiki had a British accent, right? Kind of like...
Bro, I can barely even keep track of my own accents.
It's reasonable. Wiki didn't. The another person did. Okay. Sorry. Anyway.
No, yeah.
But so basically, Wiki says, yes, it appears that, because I know about this as well, that we are also from one of these Dreadlands. That is where I'm from. Yes, but it is not one of the Dreadlands I know of. There are other Dreadlands. Do you understand the implications of this?
Yes. And on that note, we were hoping that you guys, because we do plan on getting more lore masters as well as time goes on.
Yes.
That you guys could work together and talk about your stories and the people in them, and let us know who you think would be the most beneficial for us to bring in and help out and figure things out.
Well, I would certainly, and kind of, he sort of looks and the astromancer says, you spoke of another galactic realm. Meteor explode, Saturn rings. If it were possible to bring lore masters from that place, and Rollins says, oh, really, just any other places. For example, I was asking some of the other places that you look through. I know there's one of the other settings is called Grey in the Dark, so perhaps a lore master from there, or a lore master from the setting called Here Be Dragons, or a lore master from we now have one from Top Flight, but it seems there are other very different ones, and there's others from my realm. In fact, you seem to have been looking into a man named Walker, who I think I know him. So yes, that might be another person to sort of Actually, did Rawlings ever meet Walker?
I think they interacted, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think I may... The idea that he would have information is very fascinating to me on multiple levels, so yes, perhaps other lore masters from other places, but getting lore masters from as many different perspectives, because already
that's definitely the plan. Yeah.
And basically, Astromancer will pipe in with, because there are, in fact, nebulae of terror, which I think are similar to these Dreadlands. They appear in dark quarters of the galaxy. I know, for mine is the power galactic.
Okay.
The point is, there's strange commonalities. I'm fascinated to learn more about our Dreadlands from other Dreadlands.
Okay, that makes sense. We can do that. We'll work on that.
Question.
Yes.
Does I guess so you all remember everything that happens when we've taken you into the purple area that we go in the elevator?
Wiki says,
what purple area is. It will be fascinating when you go. Yes, we can recall all the experiences, the sort of sharing your consciousness, observing, granting our knowledge and abilities to you.
Right. Then as Loremasters, I think it'd also be really helpful if you could start to apply your vast knowledge and kind of like see if we could use that to, you know, kind of like see what you hypothesize, theorize about what's going on there, see if that might help us in the future in our endeavors up there.
Well, I do recall something very specific that was said last time in that dreamland, as the creature called it, that they said dreadlands were a type of dreamlands.
Right,
which
yeah.
would make sense if they were a sort of nightmare, living in a dream, a nightmare world. There could be some connection, some correlation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I guess
so
keep at it if you can. That's the best direction that I have on that.
so we should focus on Loremasters and maybe anyone who may or may not be an expert in dreams. It sounds like. Okay, we will work on that. And also, Wiki, you have not met them yet, but the professor, the guy who smells often of alcohol and
most people in Blue Moon mostly smell of alcohol and fish.
okay, well, it'll be heated. Well, maybe some days, but it was not usually fish. If you guys see him and he's like asking you a bunch of questions, maybe just give him like the bare minimum to nothing detailed, or you can give him a lot of like superficial and important information, you know. But
Rawlings nods and says, "I understand. You want us to. All right, if he's unable to go to the place, I understand he may be able to. Yes, I completely understand. I'm very good at knowing who to trust.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm very good at trusting the right people. That's something I'm very good at.
We don't trust him, so
Understood. Yes. Then I will
you guys shouldn't either.
I haven't finished his book. Is that true? Is that
Rawlings trusted good people, and then with one major and tragic exception.
Okay, so pretty good track record is fine. I'm okay with that.
But he'll sort of nod. Wiki kind of looks at Nova and says,
do you know of the hunt?
I've read a little bit about the hunt, but the hunt's not here.
Well, I still serve the hunt, even though it's not here. So, if you were to bring the master of the hunt here, he's sort of in charge of what this man's calling our Dreadland. And Rawlings says, he's the Dreadmaster there. Yes, he's like what Longivus Mons is there.
But he's so scary. Why would I want to bring him?
Well, because I serve him and he's very powerful. But
Nova, maybe he knows how to get ghosts here.
He does lead a host of the dead across the sky.
Kind of, but they're not nice dead people. Like I want them to be my friend.
Rawlings says,
they wouldn't be my friend.
That's so fascinating. Oh, wow. Oh, God, I wish you could come to where I'm from. You would meet so many fascinating dead people. Many of them would want to harm you, so perhaps it would not be good. This is so interesting. I'm so excited to learn all of this.
As this conversation kind of wraps up, we're going to go over to, meanwhile, in the ballroom. So Medina, Doug, and Frankie, you walk in. You see Tatiana is kind of chatting with Duchess Contessa, just telling her that she just adores her whole style and her personality, and Duchess is, kind of just making a over-the-top, like, oh you, aw shucks, pretend bashful faces. Then she asks for gin, and Wednesday brings her a bottle of gin, and pours her a drink, and Duchess starts drinking gin rapidly. You're muted, Lauren.
Wednesday, has the professor been asking you to bring him drinks by any chance?
No, miss. I do not interact with him very much. He seems sort of odd. It's okay.
Continue to not interact with him very much.
Understood. Doug?
If we drink this gin, do we get drunk?
You can certainly give it a shot. Duchess is hounding him back. Tatiana Temple is saying, gin is certainly one of the more elevated liquors one can find, so I appreciate your choice. And Duchess is like, yeah, and it also gets you drunk the fastest. Glug, 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 glug. And as she drinks, there's like blue, 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 down through the, animated neck, etc., etc. Tatiana kind of gives you a look and then just looks away as if disappointed in you. Doug, you notice that Jacket Girl, having checked out the local talent here, for a moment she kind of walked over to the interior man, but could tell she could tell he's not actually a skeleton, he's just skinny. Sexy AM/FM radio is just kind of partying off in her way and whatever. But Jacket Girl at this point is approaching. I'll show you what's happening.
Oh no. The mountain.
The oldest possible man.
She kind of goes,
Heard a rumor. You're as old as the mountains.
I am as old as time itself. I am the mountain. And Jacket Girl is just like,
God, you're cold. I bet you get so cold.
I am the cold.
Uh-huh. And have you always been the cold? Like since well before I was born?
Since before you were born, or your parents, or your grandparents. And she's like, or your great-grandparents, going back 1,000 generations. Uh-huh. Check, please.
But does he make...
What?
Does he make the chair smell?
What?
That is a good point. She does look at him and says,
You're not like most of the guys I've dated.
I am not a guy. I am the mountain of darkness and cold incarnate.
Yeah, but you don't wear really high pants.
She's just looking at him like, oh my god, am I gonna do this crazy thing? Guys, am I gonna date a mountain? Oh my god. Anyway, if that's what you noticed, Doug, you can go talk to whoever you want.
Doug was bringing a gin for her and him, and seeing the conversation will just turn around.
Sexy AM/FM radio is like, oh my
This
God,
is all so sad and disappointing.
Is that my
on very
drink?
many levels.
Hey, is that my drink? I missed my drink. Is that my drink? 'Cause I missed it.
Here, yeah.
Oh my god, let's get lit. This has been the weirdest party I've ever been to. I can't believe everyone's everyone keeps saying their same costumes.
Tatiana,
Yes, Doug.
a word?
She kind of comes over to you and, Frankie, are you with Medina?
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of looks at you and says, good evening, ladies. Thanks for bringing us more fascinating individuals. Although, did you really have to bring the Yeti? So many heroes. One would almost think you're being purposefully defiant.
Oh no, I never defy anything.
What can I do for you?
We were hoping you might be able to help us. The professor. He's not necessarily very forthcoming with what we're all doing here, you included. You and the other characters.
You want advice for forcing the truth out of the old man? from across the room. Old man, where? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you get the sense also that he's lying?
I've not spoken to him too much, but if you really want to know the truth of the matter, dear, all men are lying all the time. All women are lying even better.
Cool.
But yes, he's certainly deceiving you about something.
I assume that you are very good at convincing people to give you information.
Well, I'm good, but I'm better when I have my full team with me.
Okay, well,
If you had a few Tatiana bots, we could really get into this.
No, thank you on that.
It's a Tatiana bot.
Tatiana bot. I have robotic versions of myself who serve as sort of foot soldiers in my war against the pesky heroes.
I'll look over at DJ and go,
Taking a note.
Tatiana bot.
She probably calls them temple bots, but also Tatiana bots.
I think that this is something that we need to do. We're the ones he's sending to do his bidding, and we don't know why.
Well, my recommendation would be to... I mean, if you have anything on him, use that. If you don't, get it.
I mean, he's obviously a drunk. Have you noticed anything? That might say compromise tenure.
Oh.
My advice would be to focus on his interests. He did tell you that he had an experience similar to yours, didn't he?
Yes, but he didn't elaborate.
Hmm.
Just that if he could look into anything, it would be... Was it the Greek or the Roman gods?
I think he was into sort of Roman mythology. Sure.
Okay.
Greek-Roman mythology. It's pretty overlapping.
Greco-Roman? Is that what it's called?
Sure.
Did he tell us the name of the book that he was reading?
He did. He was reading the Aeneid by Virgil. He spoke to Aeneas.
Well, I'll tell Tatiana that.
The Aeneid. Have any of you read it?
Oh, yes.
No. Oh.
Or...
It's okay if you read it, Frankie.
Well, yeah, I read it, but you can continue talking to Medina.
Might be useful, that's all. He does seem to be a man at the breaking point. Probably if you push him enough, you might get the information you require.
What's
of course,
the
if
myth?
you push him too hard, you might break him entirely. Either way, it could be a lot of fun.
Wait, is it a myth?
Is what a myth?
The Aeneid.
Oh. Darling, you go to an elite you go to an elite Ivy League university. I don't think you need me to explain one of the great classic works. One of the classic
I'm also not
epics.
studying the classics.
What a pity.
I can't read every book in this damn library.
The Aeneid is about the founding of Rome. By a refugee from Troy named Aeneas, a character who had appeared in the Iliad. Have you heard of the Iliad?
I have read the Iliad.
Wow.
And the Odyssey, by the way.
The point being, who is Aeneas? What is it drives Aeneas? Who's he fall in love with? These are interesting questions. Been written about for generations. She kind of, you get the sense that's kind of all she'll be telling you.
That's fair.
I don't
so
know.
if they're... if there comes a time where we may need some assistance or ideas in obtaining information from an individual, is that something that we might be able to consult with you about?
Are you really asking me if I know how to torture someone?
Not exactly. We still need to maintain our positions as students at this school, so.
I am genuinely shocked and appalled. Where is a hero? I need to tell Susan, that Yeti, that these horrible children are trying to corrupt me and asking me for advice on torturing an innocent man. She's just sort of like, you know...
You think he's innocent?
Of course not. But I do think that torture is nowhere near as effective as a perfectly placed threat. No. Why break kneecaps when you can break spirits? Speaking of spirits, she kind of goes over and, you've really drunk that whole bottle? And, Duchess says, yes, one bottle.
So I'll say to Frankie, shall we go meet the others?
Leave? Yes. Yeah. Or whatever you want to do.
Doug? Are you ready?
Sure.
I'm showing you my funny dance. Here's my funny dance. This is the, hold on. This is the dance I call scan the channels. Ready? I'm so dizzy.
I'm just gonna live in this in this elevator.
Oh my god, I'm dizzy.
Wednesday.
Yes, miss.
Can you get the radio some water?
No, miss. She made very clear to me that she never wants to drink water, miss. She says it's a waste of stomach space, miss. She says all she's interested in consuming, miss, is Molly and hard liquor and then something else I would not mention.
You know what I'm going to have you do? I'm going to have you squeeze a lime in it, drop the lime in it, and tell her it's a vodka tonic or vodka soda. That's what you do.
You would lie?
Yes.
I would not lie to her, miss. And basically, sexy Emma from radio is like, I'm gonna live forever. She's wandering off doing whatever she's doing. Kind of.
Has Doug been drinking?
A few.
Yeah.
Is he drunk?
He's becoming intoxicated. Yeah. Behind, kind of as she's doing her thing, just like Ellie Bug Tumblewop is walking behind her from a distance, just writing stuff down and saying, "This is gonna go so good on my new album of sad girl songs." She basically writes herself. La 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 la.
Okay, let's meet up with the others.
All right, you guys all go meet up. Are you going to meet up with them with the Loremasters, or do you want to leave all these characters behind?
With the Loremasters?
Okay. All right, you guys can go to the library. We'll say this is around the time Wiki was just talking about bringing her person, and then Rawlings was talking about... Oh, actually, before you guys go, Sister Mercy will stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She stops Doug as you guys are leaving and goes, excuse me, are you doing some kind of matchmaking service here or something? Are you trying to pair us off for mating purposes? Is that what
Not so much.
So why is it that you are taking Rawlings to go talk to those two sluts? I'm sorry. That is not a good way to refer to women. To those two women of ill repute.
They're all kind of the same subject matter expert.
And I'm not?
I don't think so.
Well, this is, I could be. So in other words, you're saying that Rawlings is only attracted to women who are intelligent the way he is, who have had this kind of schooling, because one of them looks like a blacksmith. She looks that he's a low-class person, and the other appears to be a woman wearing a mask and her face is made of space.
And you have an arm that's made of mist.
Exactly.
We're all outcasts here. It's fine.
So you're
Just
not...
come. If you're that, just come on. You can come.
All right. She comes with you guys. She comes and says, "Hello, Rawlings." He says, "Oh, hello, Sister Mercy." So yes. Anyway, Wiki, it's so good to have you here. I'm so happy you've arrived. And she turns around and walks out. But the rest of you are here now. Sure.
Yes, so they're gonna help us. We just gotta keep researching more Loremasters from
various stories.
Other stories, and maybe anyone who's an expert in dreams, if that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, right now we have a few like Loremasters from various places that we have like a little bit like kind of started to crack code on.
There's Beth and Effa from Here Be Dragons.
I mean, yeah, Beth and Effa. There's someone named Mr. Qualman. I have no idea who that is.
Tell you what, do a you did read this book, so I will say that you have a rough sense of who those two people are. Beth and Effa is a shadow elf, sort of like poet and like political activist. And
poet?
Go ahead.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all good. Never mind. Continue.
And Mr. Qualman is the head of Ode, which is I think, what was it called? Like, oh shoot, I don't have. Can I borrow that?
Sounds pretty poetic to me.
Ode is it has a much stupider name. Hold on, I'm actually gonna pull up. One problem with this is I need to just open all of my documents for all of the games so I can reference the stuff from them when it comes up, because I'm trying to remember what Ode stands for, but it's go
like
on and I'll come back to this.
50 monitors up.
I would love a 50 monitor system. Ode is the Office of Divination and Espionage. So it is from like it's kind of like it's basically like the OSS or CIA sort of thing. And then
I mean, that seems like a good person to have.
So those are two people who know about stuff. You know what? Callie and Connor, would you please both make I want one of you to make an analyze roll, one of you to make a research roll. You can talk amongst yourselves and decide who'll do what.
I have 6 for analyze and 6 for research.
I got 4 for both, so I'll spend 4 to give myself an extra 2 so I can have 6 on one of them. So I'll just do analyze, I guess.
Okay.
Connor, you do analyze.
Yeah. So spending 4 power.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, I like.
I'm in the wrong fucking pile.
How much do I spend to reroll again? I'm so sorry. I just want to reroll some of them.
If you want to reroll some of them, you spend 3 and then 1 for each die you're keeping.
I'm going to do that and re-roll 4 of them, so I'll spend another 5 on that.
Perfect.
Okay. I have 2 6s and 2 4s.
Great.
I have 4 8s.
2 6s, 2 4s, 4 8s. Which do you want to do for your analyze, the 6s or the 4s?
6s. Geometry.
For geometry. I think this makes sense. All right, so the two of you begin sort of talking through this stuff. And I will say this. Right now, you have Rawlings as a lore master. Rawlings and Wiki are jiving because there is a realization that the nature of their worlds is connected. And not only are these dreadlands connected to each other and they're getting different, like Rawlings is learning, like, oh, so in yours this happens, you don't know about people crossing to this, that, whatever. You're getting perspective. These dreadlands may be connected to the dreamlands. As you begin looking through stuff and the analysis that you're providing, and also Callie, just because it's so central to what you're doing, you know the tag about the Shadow Elves. And there is something about the Shadow Elves that is actually connected to the Dreadlands. the Shadow Elf tag, in addition to that they can see in the darkness, is that they are unaffected by purple mist. That is the mist that separates the Dreadlands of Blood from a Stone. That is the mist that surrounds Blue Moon. The Shadow Elves are unaffected by this mist.
So we should definitely be researching the Beth and Effa.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
It might make sense to research Beth and Effa, and it might even, knowing that, though she is not like a specific, she is not a lore master, it might make sense for you guys to even have a chat tonight with the Umbral Queen.
Yeah. She's a queen, so she probably knows something.
She probably can give you some information, exactly. I'm so sorry. I'm distracted every 5 seconds. I genuinely don't know what I was looking up. Oh,
the
I
Umbral
do.
Queen?
I found it. Thank you. Nope. I was looking up something over here. You guys are great. So, that is the information that I would provide from that conversation.
Okay, well. Yeah, I guess Beth and Effa, or who's higher on our thing? I mean, that's fine. We'll figure it out later. Yeah. I think that's a good starting or plan for the week. Beth and Effa and the Ode guy. Should we talk to the queen now?
Yeah. And while we're down here, might as well.
Okay. Does that sprite just stay in the elevator?
The sprite does seem to always be at the elevator just to, like, run up and ask questions whenever necessary, okay. Yes.
Wednesday, do you know where the Umbral Queen is?
Wednesday says, I believe the Umbral Queen is... I can get her for you, miss, if you'd like to speak with her. She did not want to go to the orientation. I will bring her to you.
That checks out. If you're not busy, yes, that'd be...
I'm never too busy for you, miss.
And she just goes. And actually, she'll pause and say,
if you would like to speak to her in her chambers, she would probably enjoy being announced in such, if you'd like to go up and talk to her where she is. Or I can summon her for you. It's entirely up to you, miss.
She might be in a better disposition if we go to her.
Yes, that makes sense. Yes, we can do that.
All right. So she is, guys. I'm so I there were a couple things I do usually have open, so I apologize. I'm looking up one more thing, but then golden. You guys can head upstairs to where she is staying. And that is on the second floor, so you have to go up 2 flights of stairs, but she stays in the chamber called Hera, one of the big suites. As you reach the outside of there, you actually see that the Shadow Elf of the Umbral Court is sort of like standing outside the door, as if just there to, attend to her lady, but be out of sight. But she'll sort of nod to all of you as you come and say,
may the blessings of the Umbral Court be upon you all.
Thank you, and upon you too. Is the Shadow Queen available?
I will. Oh my god, it keeps disappearing. I'm so sorry. There you go. Yes, of course I can see if she is in. I know that for dignitaries such as yourself, she's very happy to speak to you.
She bows, enters the room, and after a few moments she says,
she would love to receive you now. Please.
And she enters, and as you guys come in, you see that the Hera chamber, the statue of Hera is there, but like black lace has kind of been like thrown around it to give it a more like shadow goddessy look. The Umbral Queen is sitting at like a little table, and there's sort of like it seems like very quickly this just other elf like moved some chairs over there for you guys to sort of sit, and a couple little like seats and whatever seat was at the vanity, etc. But she's just sort of sitting there looking very regal, very elvish. She nods to all of you. not really expecting you to bow, but whatever.
Callie absolutely bows.
And at this, the other one begins kind of just like getting some tea together, and she starts pouring you all some sort of like dark kind of mushroom-looking tea. So the Umbral Queen says, "Hello. How are you all doing today? What is it I can help you with?"
Well, we had some questions about. I guess as we're learning more about this whole thing going on, this whole situation that's bringing you and everyone else here and everything kind of going on up there. We were thinking you might have some extra insight just based on the fact that there are these dreadlands. A lot of these dreadlands are surrounded by this purple mist, and it seems that you have an invulnerability to that mist. Is that
Oh
true?
yes. Shadow elves such as myself can walk through the mist unaffected by its boundaries and its enervating effects.
Do you know why? Do you know how, what it is that gives you that ability? Do you know, I guess, what do you know about that?
I am, of course, no master or mistress of law, but it is my understanding this is some innate ability we have, some connection that our shadow magic is intrinsically linked to the nightmares of the Dreadlands, and as such we can walk through them, much the same way that Shadow obeys our commands.
And she kind of moves her hands, and you guys see just like the shadows in the room sort of like lengthen and dance just as she waves a hand.
So too does this nightmare stuff not bind us. I have a Warden of the Mists, Konosubi. She would be much more knowledgeable about the specifics, theories as to why we are unique in this way. But I can confirm from first-hand knowledge that yes, we can pass into these dreadlands without being trapped.
Your warden would be an expert on...
Konosubi?
Yes, on the Dreadlands or Purple Mist Nightmares, or...
Are you asking if Konosubi is a lore master?
Yes.
I'm gonna actually roll that to see if she would kind of understand from the context.
Yes, I rather think Konosubi would be.
Okay.
So, and even if not a full law master in the way you mean, she would be an expert in the Dreadlands and the Mists.
No, yeah, that makes sense. I understand that. Okay. Okay.
All elves are connected to dream, you understand. Our less shadowy cousins are connected to more pleasant or neutral dreams. Shadow elves have always had an affinity for the dreams that terrify, the dreams that warn.
Okay. That makes sense. So should we find... In that case... Should we get a lore master who's not a like the what's the other elf? If it's not a shadow elf, what's the...
Oh, just like an elf, like a light elf or whatever.
Okay, so should we get a light elf lore master then? Is that a thing? You think we can find one of those?
I'm genuinely not sure if any of those exist in any of the games.
Yeah.
I will. You could certainly do a research on that, and I could try to figure it out.
That's one of the things I wrote down to research.
Yeah. Tan's already. Yeah, Tan's going there.
Yeah. We can get Beth and Effa to be the lore master for that, and then the Ode guy, and then if we can get a light elf lore master, that would be cool.
Yeah. Or I mean, we could also try and just research Dream Elf in general. Like if there's if Domain of if Dreadland is to a dreamland as a square is to a rectangle, then perhaps there's like a greater kind of like a kind of more overarching kind of elf. It's not like a white elf, but something different. Though I don't know.
Yeah, we can
Thought.
we can find this. This is fine.
The Umbral Queen says, "It seems that you're all on the right track. I would like to offer you the blessing of the Umbral Court." And she just stands up, and her servant, or the not even her servant, just the Umbral Court Shadow Elf just kind of bows very low, and she just kind of says, "By the shadow, you are blessed." And then she sits down as if, "I am
Thank
so
you
beneficent."
so much.
Yes, of course.
Shall we go then?
Oh yes, you are dismissed. Thank you so much for visiting me.
Thank you
love
for
the
your
friendship we all have. And I look forward to be suddenly summoned into a purple plane with you all inside your mind. She nods to you, Callie. The other shadow of the other court says, "So do I.
Yes.
I'll be there too, apparently, yes."
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure. You guys can step out.
Okay. Well, looks like we got a game plan this time, at least.
Yeah.
As you guys sort of gather up, are you heading back? Are you leaving course court? Anybody else you want to talk to down here or up here? Wherever the
I've got nothing else pressing right
Understood. As you guys head out, I will actually mention that this week, I will actually offer you a fourth kind of activity.
Ooh.
I will be giving normal activities, but based on this, it's actually something you guys could attempt to do. Sort of certainly researching Beth and A, if it makes sense, and you know, don't all have to do the same thing, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to offer you, I guess maybe you could use a tag of like real life. One is researching the Aeneid.
I wanted to do that. I was going to ask if I could.
In a non finding pages and lore way, in a literally like reading up on the Aeneid. You guys can spend your time doing that, but also, if you want to,
Callie would have read that already.
Callie's probably read the Aeneid, but based on like, you know, if they sort of share stuff, there might be new clues. It might be like worth a reread or whatever. I might, maybe Callie could generate more from it or something because she's already read it. But the other option would be, I would let you guys do dig up dirt on a teacher.
I was gonna ask if I could like research the professor, not in the context of this, but like me going around and like Googling him and shit.
Can we do it with the help of a character?
The trick with that is that the characters can't leave here and they can't access the internet or any of that kind of stuff, so that the characters can advise you. And if you want to do that, ask them questions in the discussion board or strategy, and I can even answer as characters.
Could in my downtime, could I say, stake out Professor?
Sure, yeah, you could. I'll allow I'll kind of, you guys could do different types of things to get info on him if you want. But I'm going to, for the first time, I'm going to give you additional options. So if you say read the Aeneid, or let's call it study the Aeneid, so that's separate from research, transcribe, or read. If you study the Aeneid, you will be gaining information about the Aeneid just as like a book and like how it might correlate to things. If you choose to dig up dirt on the professor, you could basically just describe it as dig up dirt, stake out house, dig up dirt, you know, search stuff, dig up dirt, find ex-wife, any of that kind of stuff, however you want to do it. So I will allow you guys to make those choices, but also you actually do have a lot of stuff, so maybe you guys should go into strategy and you know, kind of come up with a thing, because I would say Beth and Afa would make a lot of sense.
And Hottie.
And Hottie and Hunk, of course.
Hottie for
Hunk
sure.
and Hottie, of course. You do need, we need the Hottie right here. She is.
Please.
Do they come with the boat?
The Hottie will come. There is no way this Hottie is not parasailing in.
Okay.
What is this, parasailing? No, that's when air.
The other one coming with the jet ski?
Windsurfing.
Yeah, windsurfing.
And then Hunk, he will come in. You know, and they both have their, you know, and I'll tell you this much: two people who are fully bikini waxed, the Hunk and the Hottie, right there. All right, so, with that, as you guys are heading up, I'll say don't anyone do research or stuff for today's activity. You can start that tomorrow because maybe I'll come up with some event. I'll come up with a book fair that does that. So for today's activities, keep it to the normal ones. But starting tomorrow,
I was already working on Beth and Effa, so I mean.
Yeah, you just and I would join up on Beth and Effa. That's another good one to do as well because that'd be helpful, Loremaster. Great. So with that, I think we will call it. Anybody have any last questions or thoughts or statements in character anybody wants to make? Cool. So I think we'll call it a night there. Thank you all so much. This was super fun. You know what else is fun? Some of the other games we have on this channel, like such as, for instance, as well, Gray in the Dark tomorrow. Gray in the Dark. Actually, we do have a notable thing just happen. For the first time, we have a character. We have an active character from a game in a game. Which part of me was like, wait, should I be allowing this? But apparently, it's happening. Duchess Contessa is here. Don't know how that's going to play if stuff happens in that game. I don't know what this Duchess Contessa knows of with that one. If there is a... I don't know. Point being, we have an active character. If you want to see Duchess Contessa played by her true player, who's right below me on the screen, KJ,
yeah.
Callie, you can see that. I hope I did Duchess Contessa basically all right.
Perfect. Better than I do, honestly.
And then, I don't think that is true. And then, on Friday, Blood from a Stone carries on, where things are getting crazy there as well. So please come check that out. The 13 Tombstones continue. We had so many Mistwalkers all show up last week, and you've not seen this concentration of Mistwalkers. It was crazy. And then the music of Jim Steinman took hold in a major way.
And we found out that potentially it can be sung. Just not played.
On Sunday, we do not have a game of Here Be Dragons. We may be off that week, but we might be starting our other week Star Wars game that week, and I might even do a prep game for that, because the concept for that game is going to be a little different than any other one we've done on this channel. So I'm super excited for the next Star Wars game. So you'll probably be able to join us for that this coming Sunday. If not, it will be 2 weeks from that Sunday, because the week after this Sunday we'll be back with Here Be Dragons. So that is all of that fun.
Question. Sophia has a really good question in chat. Can chat research the professor too, or is that just us students? Or the students in the class? But
those are other folklore study students. They can do, yes, I will open this. I'll put the rules for it. If you guys want to research, that you can send other people from your classes to research your creep of a professor. I'm totally comfortable with that. Yes. So I will give you the rules of how that works. You'll find that out tomorrow morning. I'll post that. So people may want to hold off on their action tomorrow until they see. I'll put that both on our Discord and all that stuff. So awesome. So that's what's going on here. Anybody else want to say anything, talk about anything, complain about anything, plug anything? Medina Lake?
I have started streaming. I'm definitely streaming every Thursday, and for the time being, Wednesdays as well. Also, intermittently, I'm trying to get the final ending on a scary, not a movie. What is it? A scary game called The Mortuary Assistant. So that's always fun. And also, y'all love my reactions here.
It's not fun. It's a gross game, and I'm ready for you to not be playing it anymore.
It's scary. I found out how to add a scream counter, though, so come watch me play and count my screams. But also, I will be doing other games, too, and it's super fun, and it's at my Twitch or on the About page.
Awesome.
Also, thank you to Apostrophe This for resubscribing with Prime, 13 months now.
Thank you so much.
How auspicious.
We appreciate all your subs, especially when you're giving us Daddy Jeff's money.
Daddy Jeff.
We do appreciate it. Do we have a Prime thing? Is there a Prime command? Is it just...
It says resubscribe with Prime.
Yes.
We just hit !Prime and that goes into chat?
Yeah, and if you do have a Prime account, you can click on the link I just posted in the chat, and it will take you to do it easily, even from mobile.
Isn't that so cool? I appreciate them doing that now. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to the players. We got some real big people in here, and I know that we are so excited to see the romance between Jacket Girl and a Mountain. We're so excited to see the romance between Rawlings and Sister Mercy that will be moonlighting style, will never actually happen. We're very excited to see the romance between Wednesday, Line, and the Grave. So a lot of fun going on here. I want to say thanks to everybody for watching. It's been great. Until next time. Class dismissed.